Welcome back to This Week in Showdown. It's your host, Bob, going for week 5. Today, though, sadly, you just get me. Jeff is out, so this could be a really fast one and a really boring one, but you know how it is. Solo tonight for me, but I'm still here, and I'm going to get you the stats for the week. I am going to break down the batters and pitchers again, and it is always brought to you by MLB Showdown Card Bot on showdownbot.com and at MLB Showdown Bot on Twitter. This week, some interesting people made the list. We have Adolis Garcia, the rookie from the Texas Rangers. Weird card here. Glad I got the Mother's Day outfit, but hits 4 home runs in the past week with 500 on base, just killing it right now. He has 9 home runs in the season, absolutely demolishing, but not the best overall on base with the 339, which gives him the 7. But random, this is like a Javi Baez card with a 7 on base and like a 13 home run. Probably someone that someone would grab, but just an interesting card overall. Get the B speed here, tons of outfield depth. Fun card overall, but he was the leader in player rater this week. Followed up nextly by Yordan Alvarez, who's been absolutely smoking the ball. He's actually been doing well and has a 520 on base this week, 395 in the season. But he has 3 home runs this week. This actually looks like a more real card. Now, he gets a DH only, and he's slow, so you're only getting the no position here, but you're getting a 9 that can double at 13, 4 doubles here, including a triple and 3 home runs. He's got 1 triple in the season, which is just so random. But yeah, this actually looks like a real baseball card. Kind of reminds me of the way it looks is like a Carl Everett type. But yeah, I don't know. I think this card is definitely draftable. It's a little expensive for a DH. I don't like going DHs, but if you just gotta fill a spot, I mean, why not? Why not? Next up, Brandon Crawford. Again, having an interesting season, just blows it up this past week, getting 3 home runs and a 550 on base, really jacking up for the week. Overall in the season, pretty decent, 7 home runs, a little more power than we're used to seeing out of him, but only a 323 on base in the season, so therefore you're going to get the 310 point card here, some flexibility at shortstop. But a 7, again, just it seems like this week was all about like low on base, high power. But next up is another low on base, high power is Bo Bichette. I love me some Bo Bichette. Always loved Dante on the Rockies back in the day. Weird card here. So again, 14 home run range because he's got 8 on the season. He hits 1 home run this past week, but he had 3 stolen bases, and that's kind of what gave him the push. And 7 runs, which gave him the push for the player of the week for number 4 spot. But man, I don't really want a 6 here and playing 290 on a 6, but this is a pretty big home run range, and I have seen, as Jeff knows, people do this in seasons where they have like a Ryan Braun who's just a power 6 on base in the middle to back half of the lineup, and they just rake. So I see this card doing really well, though again, I try to stay away from drafting any player that's a 6 on base if I don't have to. My thing decided not to load the pitcher. Oh. Well, let me bring that up for you guys real quick. Let's see if it loads. And the best pitcher this week was John Means, and I know that Peter listening in is really hoping for an Orioles player to make to make up like a tier 2, tier 1 type card. He had a great week. No earned runs allowed. He had that, I believe it was the no-hitter, if I'm not mistaken. 12 strikeouts in 9 innings, picks up the win. I mean, he's having a great season with a 1.37 ERA and a .67 WHIP. He has 4 wins, 50 Ks in 46 innings, so he's just getting a monster of a card. So you're getting the 5, 17, or 18 out, with no doubles. This card's kind of silly. Obviously, I doubt this will continue, but this is incredible looking card, especially we haven't seen John Means this season show up, and he's having a great season, so I'm glad he had the no-hitter this week, and he popped up for a great card. I'm going to pronounce this one wrong for you guys, but I think it's Huskar Yono or Nyoe, Huskar Nyoe, and he did okay. So this past week he had 2 outings. He had no 1 earned run allowed over those 2 outings, for .69 WHIP or .69 ERA, .85 WHIP, 10 strikeouts over this course. Nothing too crazy, but he's actually having a decent season with a 2.23 ERA, 44 strikeouts in 4 innings. He picked up 2 wins, and that's what puts him on the Player Rater week as the number 2 pitcher. And 5 through 17 out. I mean, this is an amazing card for any type of player that's picking up a guy for 600 points. A little expensive, but I mean, you're looking at like Pedro type players at this point. 5 innings is probably right for him this season, but I hate that as a card, especially for this kind of player. You if he's a 5-inning pitcher, you'd hope he has like a 6 control, maybe get an extra inning out of him. But yeah, this is going to have to hurt your bullpen a little bit, and usually your ace, if this is your ace, you want him to save your bullpen for your weaker pitchers in Showdown. Next up, Shohei Ohtani, instead of getting with the bat, he's got it with the pitching arm this time. So this past week, he had 5 innings pitched with no earned runs and 7 strikeouts. And again, not the greatest in the season, doing okay. You get the random 6 control 1 through 14 out card. I don't know how many people want the 15 through 19 walk card, but it's probably not bad. This card, I bet, gets picked up a lot in draft because, again, walks are not that bad in Showdown, and singles kill. So if you could somehow slide into these walk ranges, it's not going to hurt you. Ton of strikeouts here. Again, interesting card. He's got a 2.4 ERA on the season, 2.41. It's not bad, but it's interesting, and I'm glad he made it because I'm really hoping for like a power dual flip card for him, going forward. And then, sadly to say, Wade Miley here against my Indians throws a no-hitter. They barely threw any ball above 90, which just shows you that, spin rate and location can do it. And if the Indians are really, really bad, which they are, you can do well against them. But actually, Wade Miley is having a great season overall. He's only got a 2 ERA and 0.75 WHIP, raking in a nice 6 control card for 6 innings at a 1 through 17 out. This is a great card. Again, 740, don't want to pay that. But it is what it is at this point. Now we'll go over to the worst of the worst of the week, Joe Kelly. We hate to see it. We try to find someone's name that we recognize. Joe Kelly with his pout face card last year was incredible, and I drafted that in my league, and he's doing great for me. But he pitched 2/3 of an inning and gave up 4 runs and 5 hits for 54 ERA, and I believe this was his first outing after making his return from surgery. So he doesn't really have a lot to go on. This is the most random card because not only is he a 0 control, he actually has a 0 IP. He's got 1 through 17 out, but no pop-ups, no strikeouts, and all fly ball outs, and then 3 doubles. I've never seen a stat or a chart like this, and I think you guys will have fun just seeing this card. Obviously, no way in hell do I expect anybody to actually draft this card, but it was funny to see, and especially because we know how good Joe Kelly can be and how good he was last year, and so we hate to see it, going forward. Next up, near and dear to my heart, Eugenio Suarez. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either, but he's actually on my fantasy team, and he's killing me right now. Absolutely having an awful season. Not anything like I expected. He had 0 hits in the past week, 0 for 14, though he did have a home run tonight as I'm speaking, but again, this is the past week. 0 for 14 with a .125 on base, dropping his on base for the season to a .223 with 5 homers. Really random card. He's not getting an on base grade. Again, normally you see him at 30. He's playing shortstop now, and you're getting a 4 that has a huge 11 through 20 home run range. This card is pretty rough to handle, and I found a picture of him striking out, which I'm sure he's really happy about. But yeah, he's having a really bad slide, so I really hope he can turn around because we're used to seeing him around the 9 control card. So again, I know it was a really quick one for everybody, and I hate to rush through these because I know you guys have so much fun with them, especially when Jeff's here or Matt. But I had to get it in tonight, and Jeff wasn't available, so I still had to go out, and even though I was riding solo tonight, I had to make sure that you guys all had what you came here to hear. Listen. So from everyone here at This Week in Showdown, that is week 5.